to you. Today we celebrate the goddess Freyja. And we celebrate her for a bunch of reasons today. And we'll talk about quite a few of them. But remember that it's all about obtaining or maintaining your mental space. For in these days of high-speed, deadline-driven, social media influenced, we need methodologies at which to understand how we can move energy, each and every one of us, how we can move energy to better ourselves and our mental space. Before I get started, however, I want to start by inviting you, telling you that the greatest event in quite a while is coming up this weekend, starting tomorrow. New Reality TV, Rise Beyond Spiritual Summit, available online. All you have to do is go to the website, newrealitytv.com, and there you can register and join us for 2 days of perspectives, of guest speakers who will offer all different kinds of perspectives that maybe can help you, give you that bit of intellect that you're looking for to help you with your mental space. So again, newrealitytv.com. You'll want to go and visit, register there for the event. Again, it begins tomorrow and Sunday. I will be speaking on Sunday morning, Alaska time, 6:30, but Eastern time, 10:30, of course. So get over there, get registered for the event. Remember, if you are in attendance in mine presentation on Sunday morning, you have a chance to win one of the specialized T-shirts that we have made up for this event. So check that out, and I'm sure there'll be something for everyone. So newrealitytv.com. Also check out my show there, Whispers of the Norse. That show is available each week, and talks about many different perspectives of our spiritual journey. So hopefully a wonderful presentation that can offer you some insight. I also want to call out my website, norsewhispers.com, where you can find our friends, which is a collection of people and groups and organizations that support what we say and what we do. They are a wonderful group of friends who offer many different services and products that I support wholeheartedly. So check them out. Again, norsewhispers.com/our-friends. Finally, I want to call out norsewhispers.com/coaching. And this is for those of you who are looking maybe for a life coach or some assistance in just kind of getting through existence, helping you to find balance and to restore your mental space. Check it out, norsewhispers.com/coaching. Finally, before we go, I wanted to say, where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, for those of you who do have an extra couple of coins laying around there on your desktop, by all means, feel free to drop them in the tip jar. We're always looking for more support to help us continue our mission. You also want to spend some time, if you haven't already, like, follow and subscribe us on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, all of these, as well as checking out the show on newrealitytv.com. So, with all that said, let's talk about Freyja, the goddess Freyja. To the Norse, she represented the goddess of love and the goddess of war. Reading deep into her, now understanding that Freyja, or the recognition of Freyja, started long before the Norse. It actually started in the Germanic tribes of Middle Germania as they migrated north, as the Celts migrated with the Franks and kind of combined into that whole group to make some of the most fearsome warriors that ever walked. And we're going to see historically, as the Druids of the Celtic peoples there in the southwest as they migrate northeast into Germania and certainly beyond. They recognize Freyja not as much in her recognition that she got once she became recognized by the Norse, the northern people. Freyja represented energy and understanding the balance in energy. Now, for those of you who have done some reading about Freyja, she was had a very powerful potential of passion. She understood energy, which is why she could bring magic. She understood how the universal energies into our existence and out worked. And so she knew how to manage her energy and the energy that comes into us. Now, many times we may not recognize the energies that we are casting out, emitting in our everyday lives. We kind of go through our lives and sometimes we can become a little focused on us or a little focused on what we're doing. And what we fail to remember is that as we are ourselves and we're just kind of camping out somewhere, we're emitting energies out to the spiritual realm around us. Now, you might recall, for those of you who have followed the show for a while, we've spoken in the past about the aura. Now, your aura is this kind of space around you. It is the spiritual interface that comes with just being you. Now, people say, well, what is an aura? Well, an aura, for those of you who may be familiar with electric theory, you know that when power, voltage, goes through a line, goes through a high voltage line, right, or power line, it creates an energy field around it. This is called the EMF, or the electromagnetic force. So it's this field that surrounds the wire. Okay? This EMF is caused by the energy that's moving through the line, right? Your aura is your EMF, your electromagnetic force. So your aura is this area that kind of surrounds you, of which kind of holds within a certain limit the energy at which you create. Now, your aura is it's not measured in feet. People say, oh, well, is your aura a 3-foot circle around you, 9-foot circle, 10-foot, 12? No. Your aura touches the spiritual realm. Therefore, space and time have no meaning. Okay? Once we touch the spiritual realm, space and time have no more bearing on anything. So our auras can interact across the planet, across the realms. There really is no limit to what our aura can touch. Within the aura, in that space, okay, so there are two parts to the aura, right? And we've talked about it before, but we have the boundaries on the outer side. The outer piece is the boundary of our aura, and then we have the aura, the space within it of which you exist. Probably more precisely, your spiritual entity exists, is in this aura. The aura's two components are controlled by you. Okay? So your mental processing controls the clarity of the aura, the space, how clear it is, can you see? And your emotions, your heart, controls the border. Okay, so when we're very angry, or we're very passionate, or we're whatever, the border is at a very high frequency, which when we're angry or frustrated, or one of those more negative emotional states, we find the frequency at a very high vibration, and therefore other people whom may not be high frequency or just chill, and their aura is going to bounce off that, right? Because they can't penetrate. Now, when our aura is nice and calm, content, very much reflective of the ocean waves, so nice and easy, the swells of the ocean, nice and easy, nothing breaking or no waves crashing, nothing like that, just nice big even swells on our board. We find that other auras, other people, or other entities in general, have a tendency to be able to connect with us. The further our borders interact, the further it goes, the further we find ourselves attracted to that other person. If this is a person, right? It's not to say it always has to be a person. We could interact with nature, right? We interact with Mother Yord. When our frequencies of that border allow for the crossing of these two borders, the further it goes, the more we feel compelled to like, if not love, that person. Our soulmates, when we connect, our frequencies on that border are identical. And so there's a complete blend of our auras. Now, you, in a relationship such as myself and my shield maiden, our auras are very intertwined, right? We're bread and butter, right? Peanut butter and jelly. We are combined, yet her aura stops just short of me, and mine just short of her, right? So it's kind of right up against our personal, our being, our physical self. I mean, we're that close, right? We're soulmates. We were destined to find each other and destined to stay together. So those auras. Now, the second ingredient in our aura is that space I mentioned between our physical self, or our spiritual self, more precisely our spiritual self, and that aura border. There's a space. Again, because it's dealing with the spiritual realm, it has no space or time, so you can't measure it and say, well, stick out a yardstick and see how long it is. No, that's not how it works. Okay? Within our aura is space. And that space is either clear or cloudy. And it represents your mental space, your mental health, how much you're processing up here, right? So if we have a lot of maybe trauma or a lot of potential, a lot of things going on, I mean, just lots of, maybe even drama, all right, in our lives, this space can become very cloudy. When it's cloudy, it's more difficult to send and receive energies. Okay? Why? Because they hit that cloudiness and it's just like looking through a frosted light bulb. Kind of, the light dims, it's more of a kind of soothing kind of light. Whereas if it's clear, we get a direct signal, spotlight. Okay? So very much akin to seeing headlights, as an example, in clear weather versus seeing those same headlights in a very foggy weather. Okay? Notice they're not as effective at seeing far away. Same thing occurs when our aura is cloudy. All right? How do we get through this? This is the use of totems. All right? So whether you use Mjolnir or a cross, a crucifix rather, or any of the other associated items, whether you use bracelets or some type of jewelry, maybe something to help us bring all of our focus down to a finite point, down to a laser beam focus. And when it does that, right, it pierces through even the most foggy of aura spaces to go out into the spiritual realm, or it goes out to the spiritual realm, whether it is received by another spiritual entity connected to another physical form, or whether it's actually received by a deity, whether it's received by another spiritual without a physical form, matters not. But this energy now, out it goes through the cloudy aura, in which case we could ask for maybe guidance in clearing our aura, right? This becomes energy management. And this is what Freyja taught us. This is what Freyja brings to our understanding, is this ability to manage our energy out and our energy in. Because in much the same way, when we have a very cloudy aura, it's hard, it's more challenging. It's more challenging to interpret received energy, because again, in the same way, it's going to scatter when it hits that mental processing. And it's hard to then gain this energy for healing, growing, learning, loving, all of these things that we do with the energy. It becomes very much more challenging, right? So when we think about how our brain and our function works, we need to consider this in a visual sense, this energy, moving energy. How does that work? How does it do us any value? Now, when we consider the aura, this kind of area around us, think of this aura as more or less a cocoon connected to a much bigger entity, the spiritual realm. Now, my great-grandparents have assumed, or have not assumed, they assured me that my aura was connected to a branch of Yggdrasil, the center tree of all the realms, center tree of life. Yggdrasil, middle of the 9 realms, according to the Norse legend. And we are connected through our energy source here at the top of our physical head here. And we're connected to this branch called, and then that branch goes all the way back to the trunk. And that trunk goes to the 3 wells where the roots now are drawing a life force from Mother Yord, or from existence, right? So gathering that water into this tree of life, and that water then fulfills us. It's the energy that is then moved to us from Yggdrasil through what is referred, some have called them the chakra of the body. Chakra, crown, third eye, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral root. It is a straight path from our crown chakra, and some say there are some chakras above us, but I don't subscribe, because my teachings have taught me, my learnings have taught me that I'm connected directly to Yggdrasil. Okay, and so Yggdrasil powers my crown chakra here as it passes this energy, this transference of the water into the tree becomes the growth of the tree and the health of the tree. All right, same thing. It's going to come out through the branches all the way into my crown chakra. My crown chakra is then going to pass that energy down through my body. And each chakra, of course, is, you can consider them as wheels. They're spinning, constantly spinning. And as the energy comes down and it hits that chakra, in this case, my third eye, that chakra then passes energy to the side and then continues to flow down to my throat chakra. My throat chakra does the same thing. Spinning energy hits it, coming down, and it sends it to the side and sends it down to my heart chakra. Heart chakra then does the same thing, spinning, sending energy out, and fastens it down, and so on and so forth until all of our body is energized. This energy can be used for healing, growing, absorbing, all of the different things that we do with it. Now, when we talk about energy, we're talking about energy coming in from the outside world into our aura, into our physical self. You have to remember that the human existence functions on energy. So when we see something in the world, that image is taken into our eyeballs. Our eyeballs then convert it from the image to energy over the optic nerve. The optic nerve then transmits that data into what I call the emotional filters. The emotional filters then apply a little twist to the energy before the energy is then sent to our brain for processing. Our brain then looks at this energy, identifies it as such, alerts our heart to release hormones based on what the emotional signature is of the energy received. What's it say? Emotionally, releases hormones into the bloodstream. That release of those hormones then is registered in the brain. Brain does a comparison against what it knows and what you're now showing it, and then stores that vision that we just had into our memories with the emotional signature that's now been released into the blood, come up to the brain. And the first thing they're going to do is they're going to set our emotional filters, right? So they're going to reset the chemistry within our emotional filters to then see or to interpret the next visual input according to the emotions of the last one. So we're always one behind, right? And then when it's stored with what we remember our brain is telling us we feel, okay? This is all part of it, energy management. Now, it is a great way to think about how we heal, how we grow, how we learn, how we love. All of these things all take energy. Now, the beautiful, most exciting part about you is that you create energy. You create your own energy. You manipulate energy, but you also create it. And this is the energy of hope. The energy of hope can never be extinguished. It can never be extinguished, right? All you have to do is change our perspective a little. When we change our perspective and realize that there is an energy generation system within you called hope, we begin a new process of bringing in drawing energy, but more importantly, generating energy. We generate our own energy, and this is truly exciting because this means that you can heal yourself. You can do all the things that all the spiritual guides and spiritual leaders and even a shaman. You can do it yourself because you possess within you the ability to create this energy of hope. Now, Freyja recognized this, and so she could use this energy of hope. She could generate enough energy of hope to initialize Sparkraft magic. Sparkraft magic, according to the Norse and several others, was the ability for a magician of the day to create the energy within themselves to bring things to manifestation. They could magically make things happen on the physical realm. There it was. But they were using their own energy. So they could get this energy of hope spun up enough to generate enough energy to manifest something here on the physical plane. It's possible. You have that ability. Okay? Now, the other magic we heard about in certainly in the Norse legends is cedar magic. Now, cedar magic is no different than what modern monotheists call a prayer. So we would incant our prayer or spell, and other spiritual entities would embrace this this prayer or this spell, and they would apply energy to bringing it to fruition, to manifest something. So the end result was the same, but the energy that drove it was very different. So Spellcraft magic drew on it intrinsic energy. Cedar magic called on extrinsic or external or other spiritual entities. So, but Freyja understood all of this, and she taught Othin the magic of the realms. She was capable of being the goddess of love. One would think is one extreme, and war, one would think was the other extreme. Now, they are not extremes. They are simply the application of energies towards an objective, whatever that objective happened to be, whether it was loving someone passionately or whether it was fighting someone in combat. They were simply the application of energies out to an extrinsic recipient. So next time you're feeling rather blue, I want you to kind of think about, how can I look at this differently and create this energy of hope to make things better, to heal myself. Now, one of the things we saw in the header of this video is the ability to draw back energy. Now, this is also possible by using what I call focus. Focus, in this case, is where we're going to put an image of ourselves in our third eye. We're going to focus on that. We're going to keep ourselves in the third eye. And we're going to send energy, because whenever we think of one thing, think of something, we're sending energy to it. So we're going to think about ourselves. We're going to keep ourselves in the third eye there. And we're going to send ourselves energy. Now, this is going to draw energy back to the self. And this can then be used for healing or growing, loving, whatever. All right? All right, my friends. I hope I will see you on Sunday morning. I hope you will join me. 6:30 Alaska time. Go there, register, be in the class. For those of you who are in attendance, we'll be giving out, like I said, we'll be having a drawing for some free t-shirts. So be sure to check that out. You can also check out more information about my presentation and the summit as a whole on my website, NorseWhispers.com. All right? I wish you the very best Freyja's Day. I hope that you are able to draw back your energy, heal yourself, and love. I wish you the absolute very best.